And Laura, did you make it back in?
I did.
All
Hello,
right.
everyone.
So if you didn't hear my little intro, we're still having problems with the computer here in the room, so we're just going to go audio only. And we're working off of my cell phone. So we'll try to speak up here in the room. And if you need anything repeated, just let me know.
Okay.
All right. We'll go and turn it over to Chair and begin.
Begin with a roll call, sir.
Josiah Jetson. Sarah Mitchell.
Here.
Kyle Cup.
Here.
Mike. Chris Rossick.
I'm here.
Thank you. Spencer Irwin's not here. Dan Hunsaker.
Here.
And Tim Malott.
Here. Miss Cap.
And Scott Ramsey.
Here.
And from staff, we've got Laura LaRoque and Chris Workman.
All right, I'm going to move on to first item B, approval of the minutes from February 17th meeting. Anybody have any questions or comments on the meeting minutes? Do we have a?
No.
Okay. Do we have a? I'm not doing well tonight. Somebody who motion. That's the word. I'm glad you're younger than I am. A motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
So moved by
Aye.
Sarah. And anybody second it? I'll second.
Aye.
Second, Josiah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I wasn't going to ask if anybody's opposed.
Is there anybody opposed? All right. All right, so we're going to move straight into staff updates, and I believe we turn it over to Laura.
Yeah, happy to give an update. So do you want to talk about the code amendments first?
I believe so, yeah. Code amendments.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to talk about your update there first, Chris, and then turn it over?
Sure.
Okay.
So page 5, the bottom right hand corner for the code amendment updates has got transposed a little bit, but we actually just got the contract from DLCD today, which is great. So time that's good, forwarded on to our city attorney, so she'll review it and then we'll get it back, get it signed and get moving. We already have the agreement in place with COG to get started. So we'll give them a heads up tomorrow morning, just let them know we're progressing. I don't know how long this review takes. Our legal review will be pretty quick. And then they convert it into PDF and send it out for digital signature. So I'm thinking maybe even as early as by the end of the week, that'll be wrapped in and we can get onto the schedule for COG. So good news that is moving forward on the residential. Laura and I met, we kind of provided this time frame on the back. I'll put every preamble I need to on this as draft. This is based on what we are thinking today, subject to change. It will be edited at some point as we move through this process. We will update this and go forward, but we kind of did this when we first started this, at least have a time frame and adjust the time frame as opposed to not having one. And so we'll plan to do that as well. We will stick to this as best we could. More than anything, I wanted the commission to have an idea that, this is something we're going to have done next month or in 2 months, but there's still quite a bit to be written and some process to go through. I did put some public outreach on there, provided a month. We can do a little bit more if we need to. So again, we can flex the schedule as much as we see fit. But did provide for some time to hit the farmer's market again, maybe do some, I don't know how much door to door we want to do, but we can definitely do some more outreach in the summer months when people are around or not early summer, but late summer into the fall, and people are kind of back into school and back in that rhythm and back around. That'd be a good time to be doing the outreach, which is when everybody else does it as well, but we'll be right in good company there. So again, 2 parts as I have. Part A is going to be that residential, be done by COG. Part B will be administrative, which there's quite a bit to get through there, and then commercial industrial, which I'm hoping will be a bit less of. There's still stuff to be done there, but maybe a little bit less intense there. So that's how we're kind of foreseeing the time frame pulling together at this point. And as we dive into it, we'll update it as we go. Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, we have PC public hearings in October for parts A, B, and overlay districts. Will that be one public hearing for all three, or separate public hearing?
If the overlay districts fit into the time frame, we'll do them here. They may go beyond that, so that might. I think the focus right now is residential, commercial, industrial, and the administrative stuff. If we can update the overlays within there, great. If not, they might come early next year, calendar year. Yeah, the floodwater, hillside erosion, wetlands, it all needs to get done eventually. There's some updates that have to happen there, but nothing's going to stand in the way of development between now and then. So, good question. Any other questions on time frame?
Aggressive.
Well, yeah.
I was sort of thinking that same thing, but we had done quite a bit of stuff. Did you guys talk about that at the last meeting?
Yeah.
Of what you've done? Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we got several new folks on the commission as well, but yeah, I mean, this will be, especially the residential side, is going to be very heavily staffed on. I mean, the COG's going to do the majority of that, and a lot of it's going to come to you. One distinction that we did talk about last month is here are the things that are absolutely required by DLCD, by new laws, by new rules, etc. Here's some best practices they're recommending for City of Philomath, right? But here's the stuff that's required within your code. Here's the other stuff that you guys already talked about that you're looking to do, your allowed uses and your tables and all that stuff. But I think there'll be a lot less work for the commission to do on that end. Commercial, industrial, again, we've talked quite a bit in. There's still some questions out there, but again, staff's going to take a good stab at that, bring it back for review, modify. So I think we've got a good feel for where we want to get to. And so it's just a matter of getting the words on the paper and then getting in front of you for a review and then getting out in front of the public. So yeah, I like starting aggressive. I don't want to go overly passive and say, give us 2 years. I'd rather start aggressive and bump things out as we need more time. So yeah, that's where we're at.
What work is actually going to be happening in those months for these sessions? Is that FOG and the City of Philomath, or is this actually going to come before the commission to discuss and review and vote on?
The latter. So yeah, there'll be touch points with the commission during those months.
Okay, so you've got part B, review begins this month, this 17th.
So staff level review. Yeah.
Staff will review
Mm-hmm.
Division 2, commercial, all these sections from commercial. So are we expecting, should the commission expect to see that by the end of this month? Is that what this schedule means or what?
No, the goal is to be through to work on the review of the commercial March, April, and by May to be looking at Division 3 review. So Division 2 review is a couple of months.
Okay.
Division 3 review for commercial would be May. So a couple months to go through all the Division 2 review, which is essentially like a basic type 2 new commercial building or new industrial building. For it's even if it's an allowed use in the correct zoning, there's still landscaping, parking, setbacks, all that we have to do. That's the review Division 2.
Yeah.
Division 3 is all the things listed there. So all the more specific things. So that will take another several months. And there'll be touch points with the planning commission during that review.
Okay, so this month, city's going to begin commercial Division 2 review. And then by May, before May, the planning commission will vote on it. On what you guys put together. So what this week?
Um,
Trying to understand what.
Or will that be a touch?
Because I see like part like Division 2 I guess this is special uses, part A, division two, is gonna start next month. So we're like, there's two things happening at the same time.
Right.
So I'm just, so is this a schedule for what the city staff is doing?
Part B.
I'm trying.
That's not anything with part A.
Expect in meetings to see in the timeline, you know what I mean?
So part A, city staff isn't working on that. That's COG. That's residential's part A. So the only thing we'll see there is when COG says, hey, we've got some stuff we'd like some feedback from the city on, then we'll get that in front of you.
We expect that before June. That would.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'm with you.
And then part B is what staff is going to be working on, specific to the commercial and industrial. And then we've got the
That is drafts to planning in August of 2026.
yeah, that's what I was looking for with when drafts are kind of coming. I mean, we'll have those touch points for feedback, but we don't want to give the illusion to the public that we're approving anything, right? It's like we've reviewed it, we're moving on. There's really no approval until we've notified the public and having a public hearing, and then there's kind of that review. So we'll have those touch points, we'll get that feedback, we'll make the changes, and we're gonna keep moving, right?
Okay, so commission really shouldn't expect to see anything other touch points. But we're gonna be doing a lot of review. You know, this, yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Got it.
Okay. If nothing else, we can go back to Laura on the planning update.
Okay.
Planning and
Thank you.
permit.
Yeah, so we've had quite a few applications submitted in the last couple of weeks. First one is with a local business, Curtis Flooring. There'll be a 3-part application that we're anticipating coming before you for a decision at the next planning commission meeting. So I won't share too many details because you're going to be the decision maker on that one, but it'll consist of a variance modification to an existing approval and a floodplain development permit. We have an adjacent development commercial proposal, also along Applegate. It's known as the Shop. This one is also a 2-part application, a variance request and a site design review for a new development on an existing parcel for automotive use. And again, that one we're hoping to get on the April hearing, just waiting for a few more things to come in on the application. Next one, item 3, Commissioner Ramsey has a street vacation request. That simply means that there is a public right-of-way. This one happens to be an alley that is proposed to be reverted back to public land. Mr. Ramsey has collected all the petition signatures that he needs, and that one is anticipated to go before the City Council for a public hearing. Moving along, item 4, there is a 3-parcel partition. This one is for a development that was previously approved by the Planning Commission for a master plan subdivision. It consists of property that's known as Phase 3 and 4 of Mill Pond subdivision. Applicant proposed to divide an existing tract into 3 parcels. The purpose of dividing it is so that each of those segments of land can obtain some funding to be further subdivided later, consistent with the approval for the master plan subdivision. Next one, item 5, this is an application that is still on hold. It's a variance request requesting for a gravel surface instead of pavement for an open storage on Letman's RV storage site in the industrial zone. And the last one is just kind of a recap. There was another street vacation alley vacation request. That one was withdrawn by the applicant. They were unable to obtain all the petition signatures that they needed to get that one to move forward. Does the commission have any questions or comments on those applications?
On 4 and 5, did we have a timeline as far as when they're coming?
5 is another one. They're anticipating submitting some modification request. So that's this site development for those that had not been through the original approval was for indoor storage, industrial warehouse storage space, open storage of RVs, parking, and an RV site. So it's quite a large development that has a phase master plan. They have a few minor revisions now that they're getting close to the end of that project. So it's anticipated that the applicant will either withdraw item 5 and resubmit as a package request that would go before the Planning Commission on some of the other items that elevate that review, or this one might get approved and you might see a package of applications being submitted in the coming months. They were also provided a deadline to try to get on the April hearing, but I have not seen anything come across the desk yet on that one.
And number 4 is a partition, so that wouldn't come before the Planning Commission. It's a partition of one.
Oh,
lot
that's the
into
council
3.
one too.
No, it's
No, number 4.
Really.
Oh, in Minnesota.
And Mill Pond, yeah.
something we talked about last week.
Okay.
City takes first.
Yeah, and then there's just one other one that didn't make it to the list. There is another multi-part application proposal for a water treatment facility expansion. That one is in the process of being finalized in preparation for the April hearing as well. So should be a busy public hearing month for your next meeting.
Who's building a water treatment plant?
Yeah.
Who's that applicant?
Yeah, who's that applicant? The city.
No, I gotta write the staff report.
Yeah.
Laura will write that one up. Keep it a little more neutral.
Yeah.
And then Leilani provided building permit numbers. We're still seeing good numbers coming through. Coordinating with the county on all those, and busy. It's going to be a busy summer. Any other questions on any of those? All right. That's all we've got for you.
Okay, does anybody have any other new business that they'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I'd like to just bring up, I attended the City of Philomath revisioning exercise or workshop as a member of the Grange, so I kind of represented the Grange. But I just wanted to say it was a really energetic and inspiring meeting of people from around the community, giving some feedback on where we want to be in 2050, I think it is. So 25 years from now. So pretty fun exercise. And I just thought, since it's visioning and kind of planning, that maybe the Planning Commission would like me to share a great meeting and a really well organized process. So looking forward to things to come.
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Is there, I got a question of you, Chris. Is there anything that would come out of that kind of action that would eventually come before the Planning Commission as far as looking at the city in 25 years, what impacts this commission's efforts might have on that, or decisions that would be brought before us, eventually the city council and amend our codes. It's basically where I'm going with this.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, but right now it's like
It's that
everything's game, right? And so as it progresses, it'll start narrowing down and we'll have a better idea of, oh, if we were going to go this direction, we need to look at rezoning some property, or we need to look at modifying the code.
There'll be some efforts for this group that will probably come out of that.
Potentially, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
you'll
that's
definitely
like-
see, I think one of the things they're focused on is like facilities and what existing facilities are being underutilized, overutilized. Do we need new facilities? Can we cohabitate existing facilities? But then a whole nother part of that is like, what are the goals and aspirations of the school district and where do they see themselves 25 years from now? And how as a community do we help them get there, right? And as a city, what are the facilities we'd like to do? You know, we did a feasibility study on the library. We've done a feasibility on a skate park. You know, we've done these studies, but we don't have funding or support to build any of them yet. So, you know, at some point, a city of, you know, under 6,000 people has to kind of rally together and help each other with some of these projects rather than everybody goes to mom and dad and asks for the money for projects. And pretty soon mom and dad are like, there's no more money. By mom and dad, I mean our very generous supporters that live in Philomath that are always very, very giving, but they can't give millions and millions of dollars to every organization right now, right? So I'm hoping that there'll be some prioritization of projects, kind of short term, what we absolutely need now, because we've got shortages over the next, you know, 5 to 10 or 15 years, what are the projects that we want to shoot for? And then some larger aspirational things that, you know, hey, if we have a windfall or something happens, great, you know, what are we want to shoot for the stars? What would that look like? So, like I said, that facilities portion is important. It's not the only thing that we're looking at. There's also kind of a whole host of things that we haven't even talked about yet. So I don't know is the answer to the question, I guess.
But
But potentially,
possible.
absolutely possible.
Okay. That was really my question.
In that direction, the mayor's attending those meetings. I'm attending those meetings on behalf of the city. We've limited the city at this point is just a participant. So we get 2 people at the table, just like all of the other organizations. And so if there is anything there, it'll come from the council as kind of direction to the planning commission to review things or look at things.
But I said, based on that premise with the different organizations, there probably wouldn't be anything come about with it of, I don't know, expanding the
Urban growth
city,
boundary,
urban,
yeah.
or the urban growth boundary or stuff like that.
I don't see something like that coming from that group. No,
So,
Yeah,
it might come from staff, but
let's keep Philomath and like why we love living here. And that was, but what could we use, or wouldn't it be cool if we had this, and more of those kind of conversations. That and like we did a whole history kind of what do we have and what were kind of the progression of Philomath as a city, as a town, and kind of markers like that to say like, well, what do we want the next marker to be? Like, this is when, you know, I learned when we got a pool, you know, and what a big deal that was. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So like, splash pad came up, right, Chris? They're like, we need a splash pad. It's like, okay, do we need a splash pad? But you know, that was one of the ideas. So it's that kind of thing. So anyway, I was happy to be involved as part of Mary's River Branch and have my
well, what I was thinking of when I asked that question was, I don't know, 25 years, but probably someday there'll be interest of expanding the city across the river. And I don't, you know, maybe that might be 50 years from now or something, but that's what I was wondering, if things like that were even thrown out, but no, not that kind of stuff.
One thing that was thrown out was annexing Corvallis. Because we were so big that we needed to, or that we were so popular that we annexed Corvallis. That was kind of tongue in cheek, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, annex Corvallis, and then Benton County throws in the towel, says we give up. Philomath wins. Or something. Those came from the mayor.
I said one question, what's the city doing at the park?
City Park.
Yeah.
The new exercise equipment's going in.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay, great.
So yeah, it used to be on the other side of the bridge in that southeast corner, and it got rotted. It was old poles and stuff, and as it rotted, got torn away. And then the park board looked at the park and asked the question: is that the best spot for it, or would we put somewhere else? And they liked that spot because it's close enough. You'd have parents working out there, or older kids working out there, and have younger kids still at the park, and you're still within eyesight of each other. And thought it'd get a little bit more use if it was a little more front and center. So
great.
Yeah, that should be in hopefully I don't know the time frame on that one. I won't say, but I mean, I would think the next few months they'll get that in.
Yeah.
That installed.
Great.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we stand adjourned.
Thank you, everybody. Sorry again for the technical issues. We'll get those bugs worked out. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.